What is the connection between our night dreams and the law of attraction? And how can Dreamwork help us manifest what we want in life? Hello, dreamers! My name's Lisa, and I'm the Dreamwork coach. In today's video, we're going to be discussing two topics that I've been interested in for quite some time and how they relate to each other. So let's start with the law of attraction. The law of attraction is based in the idea that our thoughts create our reality. So whatever we put out there, whatever thoughts we put out there, whatever energy we're putting out there, it comes back to us. So the idea would be to focus on positive things. That way positive situations start manifesting in our lives. I remember a long time ago, many years ago, before I'd ever even heard of the law of attraction, I noticed this. I noticed that things that I thought about were coming true in my life. Whatever I would think about would happen, good or bad. Usually it was bad because I didn't realize the importance of focusing on the plus side of things at the time. So it's really easy for a bad day to spiral out of control. You know how some people are like, I'm just having one of those days where everything is going wrong. And there's also, on the plus side, good days where just everything is great and wonderful and perfect. And I started to wonder, which is coming first? Is it the drama or the attitude? So these are thoughts that I was having even before I learned about the law of attraction. So when I started to hear about this, I watched The Secret, I saw that movie on Netflix and I was like, holy cow, this is striking a chord with me. It's putting into words all of the things that I was already witnessing and experiencing. And then I dove deeper and I read some books by Abraham Hicks, and I even got into the Seth material from Jane Roberts. And those books go way deeper. And this is when I learned and started to put together that it doesn't matter what we say or think out loud. What really matters is what we believe, on a subconscious level. You can go out and throw out affirmations all day, every day, but if you don't truly believe them on a subconscious level, if you don't really believe that you are capable or worthy of having abundance, then if you don't really believe that, if that's a limiting belief that you have, it's going to be near impossible to actually have that happen in your life. So if it's in our subconscious, how could we possibly know that we have these, limiting beliefs working against us? Because sometimes our limiting beliefs aren't so easy to recognize. We might not even know that we have them. So this is where dreams come into play, right? Dreams not only give us glimpses into our subconscious and how we might be feeling subconsciously about a subject or something we're trying to manifest in our lives, but dreams can also give us glimpses of possible futures if we stay on this path where we might end up. So they're really good portals. They're really good for seeing into our possible futures, seeing what is going on under under the veil of our consciousness, and identifying the issues so that we can fix them, so that we can work on them. So not only are dreams good for that, for identifying issues so that we can work on them, they're also really good for boosting our manifestations through the hypnagogic and hypnopompic states. And I will also discuss that later on in the video. But first, we're going to go over how to use dreams to identify what your limiting beliefs are. Okay, so step one is to determine what you want. It sounds super simple, but believe it or not, this is where I get hung up a lot. In order to have this work the easiest way possible, you really want to write down what it is that you want in the most specific way possible. Really boil it down. What is it that you're actually wanting here? And for me, a lot of times I get stuck because I'm like, what is it that I actually want? I don't know what I want. A lot of times I have no freaking clue what it is that I want. But when it comes to something like this, we're going to use an example like abundance. A lot of people want financial abundance. So for this example, we'll define what it is that we want by saying we want financial abundance. The key here is to put whatever it is that you want into as clear of a statement as possible. And then step 2 is to try dream incubation. And dream incubation is basically setting an intention for your dreams right before you go to sleep. I have a whole video about this. I'll link to it below if you want to really dive deep into dream incubation. But for right now, all you need to know is that's what it is. So you would just want to write down what it is that you want your dreams to tell you right before you go to sleep. I like to write this in a little notebook and just stick it under my pillow so it's fresh in my mind, right? So for this example, we would write something like, show me what it is I need to do or know in order to achieve financial abundance. And just write that down, put it on a piece of paper or something, put it under your pillow, and then go to sleep. This primes our brains kind of to like start focusing on and really thinking about this issue that we can hopefully take into our dreams with us and prime our dreams in order to give us a response to this specific question. And this like lays the groundwork for our subconscious to deliver the answers to us while we're sleeping. And just try to keep thinking about this as you drift off to sleep. Try to carry this message into your sleep as far along as you can until you just drift off and fall asleep. And then step 3 is the most easy one. Just fall asleep. Go ahead and have those wonderful dreams. Step 4 is to, when you wake up, pay attention to your dream feelings and write your dream down. Before you even write your dream down, though, just kind of sit there in the moment and really try to let all your dream memories come back and think about how you're feeling. How are you feeling right now? Like, if you're feeling nice and positive and happy, that's a pretty good sign, if your dream incubation worked, that you may be on the right path to manifesting what it is that you're wanting to manifest. If you are not feeling so great or you had a nightmare, there might be some things that you need to work out here, right? So that's kind of the whole point of this whole thing, is to figure out what it is. What is that thing that you have to work out in order to get yourself into the positive place you need to be? Being aware of how we feel in our dreams can reflect how we're feeling in real life. Feelings are a super important window into what our subconscious mind might need or want. And they can provide hints on how things might manifest in our life. So for example, in this example, if you incubated and you want to know about manifesting financial abundance in your life, and then you dreamed about being inside of a burning building with chaos and all these things falling down around you, and you were terrified, you might want to look at that and think perhaps it's hinting towards a limiting belief that you might have about financial chaos or scarcity of resources that needs to be addressed. For example, it could be trying to point out your limiting beliefs around money and your fear of not having enough, or even perhaps pointing out that you feel unworthy of having abundance. A dream like that's scary and terrifying after a dream incubation like this, it's a good thing, because it's pointing out exactly what you asked for. It's answering your question. What is it that I need to know? Well, you need to know that you are terrified about money. Your financial situation is in utter chaos right now, and you can't change something if you don't know about it. So that's the whole point in this exercise. Our dream feelings don't lie. When we look at our dream feelings for clues about how we're really feeling, we start to see what we're really manifesting and why. And then we know how we can change it. Okay, so now that you have recorded your dream and you know what you were feeling in your dream, step 5 is to interpret your dream. I could literally talk about this for hours. It's pretty much what this whole channel and my blog and my website are all set up around, so I won't go too in depth here. But if you want to know more specifically about interpreting your dreams, just check out my other videos and go peruse my website, and you will learn a lot more about this. But for this video, I'll keep it short. So the quick overview of how to interpret a dream, one thing I really like to do is give a dream a title and then summarize the dream. And when I summarize my dreams, I like to summarize them literally. This is what I dreamed about. This is exactly what it was. And then also summarize it symbolically. And when I break down a dream, when I'm summarizing it symbolically, that's when I start to get to the meat of the dream, like what it really is telling me. So for example, I would write the dream out literally by saying, I was riding a ski lift with only a tiny string around my wrist to keep me from falling off of it. And then the same dream, if I wrote it out symbolically, would say something like, I was riding to the top of a mountain and hanging on by a thread. So do you see the difference there? Like, hanging on by a thread is the symbolic way of kind of saying I had a string on my arm that was holding me up. And when I say it that way, that wordplay right there, like, it makes me wonder, where in my life am I hanging on by a thread? Like, just wording it that way and just thinking about the dream that way pretty much interpreted it for me. Interpreted it. Yeah, that's right. And then another tip for figuring out what like a certain dream symbol or object might mean is to pretend you're trying to describe this to a space alien or to someone who's never set foot on Earth before. So it really forces you to break this thing down into its smallest parts, like its most elemental form, which in turn helps you really kind of start to see what it means to you symbolically. So for example, it would go something like this. I dreamed about a parking lot.
What is parking lot?
It's a place to park your car when you're someplace temporarily.
Do not understand. What is car? What is park?
Okay, so a parking lot is a place to rest the thing that you move around in.
You get around in? Like your body? Does your body need rest?
Ooh, so now we're getting somewhere. Do you see how that works? This takes a dream symbol of a parking lot, which I do dream about a lot actually, and turns it into something that you can break down and be like, oh my gosh, this simple dream about a parking lot could very well mean that I need to literally rest my body. So this one simple exercise with the space alien is so helpful to just break down what your dream means in a quick way. And then if you're having a hard time doing that, or having a hard time even remembering enough of your dream to even do that with, just rely on those feelings and even just any shred of anything that you can remember when you woke up. Those feelings, like I said earlier, they're the key. They really are. When you compare your dream feelings to your waking feelings, and especially how you feel about the dream incubation that you set, your intentions that you set, that's when you start to get light bulbs going off. Like, whoa, I didn't realize that I felt this way about this. Why do I feel this way about this? Then you can kind of start from that point. And then step 6, the final step, is to take action on your dream. So now that we've done all these steps and we've learned about ourselves, that it's our limiting subconscious belief about the fear of not having enough money or not feeling worthy of abundance that's holding us back from this manifestation. Now that we know that, we can move forward and take action on this. And the best way to counteract a negative thought or belief is to focus on the opposite. So what would the opposite of this be? It would be to affirm that I am worthy of abundance. I do have everything I need. It would be to reinforce those positive thoughts as opposed to always thinking about the negative or subconsciously thinking about the negative. We want to deliver this new message to our subconscious so it can start from that point. So it's time to write some positive affirmations for our subconscious. And I will, in the next part of the video, tell you exactly how to deliver that message straight to your subconscious, so that you don't have to worry about doing it through meditation and writing it 5,000 times a day. There is a much easier shortcut to this, and I am all about shortcuts. So for this video's example about manifesting abundance, we would want to write affirmations that sound kind of like, I always have everything I need. I am worthy of abundance, or I have more abundance than I ever thought was possible. You get the idea. So write those down, and then I am going to tell you in the next part of the video what to do with those. Now that you've done all this, try to keep tabs on your dreams. How are you feeling in your dreams now? You know, you can do this incubation for a few days and just see, is it changing? Like, is it working? Just keep tabs on it and just go from there. If you start to see progress but not quite enough, keep doing it. You know, change what you're saying just a little bit and evolve with it until it just gets better and better. And also watch for waking synchronicities too, because now that the universe knows what it is you want and you've removed all the roadblocks to get it, just start watching and waiting. I mean, magic is going to start heading your way. So keep your eyes open for it. And let me just mention here too, before we jump on here, is that if you are having recurring dreams of any kind, especially if they're recurring nightmares, this is something you really want to work on. You can use dream incubation on these too. You know, ask your dreams. Tell me what it is that I need to know here. What am I missing in these dreams? You know, show me more obviously what it is I need to learn. Recurring dreams can point to something that really needs to be addressed in waking reality. And if your feelings in these recurring dreams are negative, there could be something in your waking reality that's really affecting you negatively. So you don't want to ignore these. And it's best to get to the bottom of them ASAP. All right, now moving on. Now that we've determined what our limiting beliefs are, and we have, because of that, written some crystal clear affirmations that we want to deliver to our subconscious, now it's time to discuss how to boost our manifestations through dreaming. And now the key to delivering these messages to our subconscious lies in the hypnagogic and hypnopompic states. These are the liminal states between awake and asleep when our brains are just primed for manifestation. It's that place when our brains are leaving alpha state, but they haven't quite gotten to theta state yet. It's just this in-between place, very similar to where you are when you're in a deep meditation. These liminal states are like a bridge between our consciousness and our subconsciousness. And it's just a prime space to be training your subconscious to accept new affirmations. It is the prime place to be implanting these new affirmations that you have just come up with that are tailored towards getting that thing that you're trying to manifest. The hypnagogic state is when you are transitioning from being awake to going to sleep. And the hypnopompic is on the other end when you're just waking up, but you're not quite awake yet. I have videos on this too. I will link to them below if you want to really dive into these really cool liminal in-between states. I like to talk about them too, and I go in depth. I'll link to that below. Anyway, for the purposes of this exercise, we'll be focusing on that hypnagogic state, which is right when you're going to sleep. So this is what you do. As you are starting to drift off to sleep, you want to be thinking about those affirmations in your mind. Not just thinking about them and repeating just the words. You want to be pouring as much of the feeling of them into this exercise as you can. So while you're saying to yourself, I am abundant, I deserve abundance, and all of those things that we were saying, feel it. What does it feel like to be abundant? Start to visualize, visualize where you would be, what you would be doing, how it would feel. The key is to try to feel as if you really are. This is how your subconscious is gonna drink this in. It's gonna start to believe this is real and true. And this is how you change that negative limiting belief and turn it into something that is much more productive for you. So really visualize and think about how content and supported you would feel if you were surrounded by abundance. Picture how that would look. What kind of house would you live in? Would you have a new car? How would it feel to be debt-free with a large savings account? How relaxed would it make you to know that you never need to worry about making a car payment ever again and to have the freedom to travel? Picture a fancy private beach bungalow and the smell of the salty air. Just bask in the easy, contented feeling that you are financially abundant beyond anything you ever imagined possible. Really get there. Get there mentally and feel it, visualize it. If you can carry these thoughts and feelings into the hypnagogic state, you are hand delivering them to your subconscious where they can really start to pack a punch. This feeling is what you want your subconscious reacting to when you go about like repeating your affirmations during the day. This would be the default underlying belief as opposed to the one you used to have where your subconscious would be like, whatever, you're not worthy of this, money makes people corrupt, you are destined to a life of financial chaos. Instead, now your subconscious is like, oh yeah, this is totally possible because it now believes you've already had this. You've had this feeling before. It doesn't know that it was just a vision that you were giving yourself. Your subconscious now truly believes that you basically already have this. So of course it's possible. Duh, you already have it. See how this works? It's kind of cool. And then my final thought here is when you wake up in the morning. So this was when you went to sleep. You primed yourself with these affirmations. You hand delivered them in the hypnagogic state to your subconscious. And then now, like when you wake up in the morning, you have this nice, fresh, clean slate. Try not to ruin it by checking your email immediately. Like no negativity has seeped in yet. And hopefully we are still riding high vibes from our hypnagogic visualizations the night before. So don't run and check your email right away. Give yourself some space to just be in the present moment. Doing this kind of helps you stay out of your head as far as projecting what might happen in the future or dwelling on what happened yesterday. Half of those past experiences aren't even relevant anymore. Let this be when you just let them go. And then, of course, write your dreams down and look at them and kind of reflect on your dreams and see how they are comparing to what it is that you are trying to manifest in your life. And this whole cycle can just keep going and going until you have what it is that you are hoping to have. So if all of this sounds awesome and super great to you, but you have a hard time remembering your dreams, don't worry. I talk about all of that too. I'm going to link to a bunch of stuff below, but if you're not finding what you want there, just go to my website at thedreamworkcoach.com where you can find links to all of my videos and my blog and a whole bunch of other stuff, and even learn about upcoming workshops where you can work with me on all of this. So if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe and share with your friends. And until next time, happy dreaming.